Hello. Hello. So I hope I am audible. I hope I am audible to everyone. So let's start with our first disclaimers for today's session. As you can see, this is going to be a disclaimers for family meal. So we have to speak 30 seconds for this disclaimers. So coming to this thing, we can see that there is a grandpa sitting, then we have grandmother, and also we have grandchildren as well. There are variety of words, so you have to make sentences based on this. Alright. Once you are able to make sentence on your own, then it will be helpful for you to do the discrimination. And most first and foremost thing which is very important is your pronunciation and fluency. We have to give a good pronunciation so that we get our content recorded, and it will help us get good scores when the AI recognizes our speech pattern. So as you can see, let's try for 30 seconds, then we will check. The given image is about family meal. We can see that there are grandparents sitting at the table. There are variety of foods present at the table, which includes meat, juices as well as vegetables as well. We can see grandkids laughing. We can also see a young couple smiling at each other. Overall, the ambience of the image is very good, and it discusses about how the family gathers at a meal. So in this way, we have to speak for 30 plus seconds. You have to maintain the tone. You do not need to rush. If you try to rush, you will have to speak more, and neglect that will deduct your scores, because as soon as you speak more, you will fumble, you will get stuck at somewhere, and you will lose your marks in pronunciation or fluency. So this is how we have to do the discrimination. Let's move to the next discriminants. Alright, as you can see, the image is about a garden. Alright, so we have to discuss how the garden is and how people are enjoying. Some are jogging, some are resting. There is a dog. We can also see some trees and light plant. Alright, so we have to discuss and express this in our own words. Okay, if you try to use the format, if you try to use a prepared template, like there is a beautiful image in front of me, I have to speak 40 seconds for this image, and overall I'm very happy today. All that kinds of things will not get in these days. So you have to avoid using templates as much as you can. There is a question from Mohan Raj. Hi Dr. Ahmed, is it okay if we speak in medium speed? Of course it is easy. It is good that you should speak in medium speed only. Do not rush forward or do not go very slow. It will reduce your pronunciation as well as fluency. So now let's try doing this image. There is a picture about public garden. Now we can see that there are trees. We can see a person jogging on the road. There is also a puppy, and there are few people who are taking rest while reading the books. The image is very interactive, as well as we can see a sky blue color, and also we can see a kite flying in the sky. This is how you have to do it. We have to maintain the fluency. You do not need to go forward. We have to be slow and calm in your voice. The more you try to do it faster, the more you will get panic and you will lose your scores because you will get stressed. Alright, so let's jump to the next task. I have conducted a poll recently in the PTE test groups, and I have found that majority of people were facing issues while doing pictures, and some were facing issues with maps, line graphs. So I have included all the things whichever the people have suggested me. Okay, so now we can see a doctor room. Okay, from the image, like we can see a nurse, we can see a patient, we can see a doctor. So when you are expressing yourself, you do not need to use the word as we can see everything. We have to use different kinds of synonyms, like I can see, or I can observe, I can watch. From the image it is clear that you have to use such kind of words which shows that you have good vocabulary. If you keep on saying like I can see, I can see, I can see, what happens is when the AI analyzes your answer with the repetitive words, it feels like you are not good enough with your English. So you have to prove that you are good. You have lots of vocabulary words. Alright. So let's try doing this image. The given image is about a doctor's room. We can see a nurse who is holding a paper and also noting down something. It is clear from the lecture that the doctor is diagnosing the patient. Patient is wearing a black color t-shirt, whereas the doctor is wearing a stethoscope along with a white gown. Nurse is wearing a sky blue color close and the ambience of the room is very good. Okay, in this way you have to speak for 30 plus seconds. It will be helpful for you to achieve your desired scores. If you are aiming for superior scores, then I would suggest 6 to 7 sentences have to be prepared at your own. You can take the help of templates. Majority of the people have this doubt whether they can use the templates or not. I would say yes, you can use a template still, but it should not be a prepared template. Okay, you can use template for your supporting, not for the entire answer. Supporting in the sense you can just say it like yes, the given image is about. Afterwards, after analyzing this lecture, it can be concluded that it is clear from the lecture that by comparison this image, there are some sort of helping half of sentences that you can use in your answer to make it more meaningful and to maintain the fluency. If you go slow, then what happens is if you try to maintain your own answer, then it will reduce your flow and also reduce your marks. So just make sure that you are speaking fluently. And also, whenever you are doing describers or written lecture, just make sure that whenever you have submitted your answer for scoring, make sure that you listen to it again and you verify with the AI speech recognition. If you are getting the entire words correctly, whichever you have said in the audio, then you are good with your pronunciation. If you are saying something and it is catching something, then that means your pronunciation is poor. You need to work it on. You have to work out on your pronunciation to improve your scores. If you are telling something and the AI recognition is catching something, then definitely your content will not be recognized and you will get lesser marks. Let's move on to the next topic. So here we can see from the image that there are two comparisons of different eras, 1970s and 2010s or 2010s you can say. So you can observe that in 1970s we used to have four kinds of meals per day, whereas in 2010s we started getting only three meals. Previously we used to do breakfast, lunch, supper and then dinner. Whereas since 2010s we have started only focusing on breakfast, lunch and dinner. Alright. And during the suppers we used to have a little bit of green leafy vegetables or some kinds of fruits like that, which were light on our digestion system, but it were helpful for our health. Right? So this is how you can compare between the two things. Now let's try this one. The given image describes about the food pyramid and gives comparison between two decades of 1970s and 2010s. We can see a major difference that in the 1970s we used to have 4 days a meal and in the 2010s we used to have 3 meals a day. Now when you see in the 1970s we used to have breakfast, lunch, supper and dinner, whereas when you come to 2010s we started having only breakfast, lunch and dinner. Overall we can see that the healthier habits were present in the 1970s compared to 2010s. Right? In this way, we have to do the disclaimers. We have to speak for 30 plus seconds because if you speak lesser than 30 plus seconds, it will think that the image was pre-planned, the template was pre-planned, and you did not add the content. So you have to speak more fluently. You have to maintain like little bit of pauses in your recordings to get good scores. Alright, I would say there is no such platform which gives you 100% accurate scorings, but what matters the most is your pronunciation, fluency, and content. If you are maintaining these three things, No matter even if you get lesser than 65 in your practice sessions, you will get good scores in your main exam. Let's move on to the next. Alright, so this one is a line graph. Here we have to describe whatever we are seeing in the image. Alright, so we have to read as much as we can from the image so that our all the important and necessary information is recorded. If you are leaving something, then that means you are not reading it properly. Since there is a lot of information present on the graph, you do not have to make much sentence for your own. Unlike the pictures one which we have done previously, there was no good number of sentences, so you have to prepare everything on your own. Whereas there is a positive thing about these line graphs and other kinds of graphs because we will definitely have something written on the image, so it will be easier for you to maintain the fluency. So let's try doing this one. The given image is about the rise of the smartphone and discusses mostly about the most cell phone owners in the US who have smartphones. We can see that 100% of US adults is given who are using any cell phone or smartphone. It is clear from the lecture that there is a gradual increase in the use of smartphones since 2005 and has reached to peak volumes since 2020. We can see two line graphs present as any cell phone or smartphone. Overall, the image gives a description of the rise of the smartphone. Alright, so this is how you have to speak. Let's move on to the next line graph. So here we can see that it is discussing about the heart disease and diabetes. So we can see that there is a gradual increase in both of the diseases, but it is clear that diabetes is increasing more rapidly. So we have to describe that and we have to use the title of the image. This will help you a lot. If possible, you can even give the year-wise comparison as well, and also don't forget to mention the incidence rate. Alright, so let's start with this. The given image gives information about the annual incidence rates of heart diseases and diabetes percentage. We can see two comparisons. There are diabetes and heart disease, which is denoted by blue line and red line. There is a year-by-year comparison from 2008 to 2016. We can also see a incidence percentage given from 0.30 to 0.44. After analyzing this image, we can see that there is a gradual increase in the number of diabetes cases each year. Overall, the image discusses about the annual incidence rates present throughout the population of heart disease and diabetes. So this is how you have to maintain the fluency and also focus on your pronunciation. I hope it is clear for you. Let's move on to the next. Now, some people were asking about the flowchart as well. So there is a flowchart. This is discussing about the desalination process. So we have to give a little bit of this process information, right? So let's see. Um, there is a seawater which goes for the pre-treatment through the various kinds of pre-treatment procedures. Then it goes into the desalination process where it undergoes various kinds of processes and finally it gives us clean water. The image is quite time consuming but also a very important step to help us prevent from diseases. In this way, you have to say about the flowcharts. If you are able to add some extra information as well, that will be very helpful. Like we can add things like we have to boil the water, you have to pass it through the distillation containers. We have to make it sterilized more further. You can add such kind of sentence as well to improve your pronunciation fluency, right? If you are just saying whatever is present on the image, it will not give you enough marks. It will not give you enough content to help you score the good marks. If you are aiming for superior, I would say you have to speak for at least 6 to 7 sentences of your own. Let's move on to the next image. So some people were even asking for a map. So let's do this one. It, here from the image, like we have different kinds of colors, so you can use colors. We have two important parts like North Sea and England. We have 2 year comparison 2004 and 2005, as well as we have the title. So we have to discuss about this. Alright, let's start trying it. The given image gives information about the distribution of Harlequin ladybird. It gives comparison between 2 years of 2004 and 2005. We can see that the major part of this image is North Sea as well as England. There are various dots present which locates the positions of the places which are denoted by red and black dots, and there are sky blue color canes and also yellow map. So whatever you have to speak, just make sure that you are speaking fluently as well as you are making your pronunciation. You should not murmur. You should open your mouth and speak. This will help you in pronouncing your vowels and consonants speak in a very good manner, and this will help you in getting your pronunciation correct. Alright, so this is how you have to do your read describe as task, and if there are any questions you can ask. After that, in the next session, if possible, I will try to uh, do it. Okay, so I will try to do a retail lecture in the next coming weekend. So if you are able to join, I will be more than happy to answer your queries. Oops, I think Mohan is facing some issue with my voice. I hope it's clear now. Am I audible, Mohan? Thanks, Dr. Irfan, for your comment. Alright. So I will try to do this one more time. Since it was not clear for you, let's do it one more time. So we have to discuss about the image, which is about the ladybird. So we have to include that colors present as well as the maximum amount of content present in that image. Alright, we can include the title of the image, we can include the years comparison, we can include the places like England and North Sea, then we have red and black dots. So you have to cover as much as you can from the image. The more you are able to cover, the more you can score better because your content is increasing. So let's try doing it one more time. The given image gives information about the distribution of Harlequin ladybird. It gives comparison between 2004 and 2005 years. We can also see that England is a majority of the place covered in this image, and we can also observe that North Sea is present. The 2004 is denoted by red dots, whereas 2005 is denoted by black dots. Overall, the image gives information about the Harlequin ladybird distribution, right? So this is how you have to do your describe image. It will be helpful for you to achieve your superior scores if you are speaking in a calm and quiet manner without any rushing forward, because you are paying your full amount of money, so it is better that you utilize the time to the fullest. There is no good thing if you are trying to end the exam fast and if you are not getting the good scores. So utilize the time properly. Do not panic. Practice as much as you can and make sure that you are getting perfect in everything before you reach the examination hall. If you are able to practice it here correctly, then definitely you are able to score your desired targets in your main exam. So, as I've said, I would repeat the same thing again. Whenever you are doing discriminants and retail lecture, make sure that you listen to it again. You listen your recording again and check with your AI speech recognition whatever you are getting. Whatever you have said in the audio, whether that words are caught in the AI speech recognition or not. If your words are not getting caught properly, that means your pronunciation is poor and you will lose your marks for content. And the most important thing is when you are coming to the retail lecture, uh, it will give you marks to listening as well. So if you are listening properly, then only you will be able to speak properly. So if you are not able to speak properly, that means you did not listen it properly, and that will reduce your marks in listening. Coming to a describe image, it gives you marks only for reading and only for speaking, so it doesn't matter. What matters only is that you only have to speak fluently. Alright, so make sure that this does not happen with you. People have improved their scores from 50 to 68 just by following these tips, and they have got superior scores after following these tips on, right? I hope we connect in the next class as well. So it was nice having you here. Thank you for your time. All right, take care, and don't forget to let me know what topics you would like to discuss in the retail lecture. All right, thank you. Take care.